We look, assess the competency. And Harrison is one of the tools that I use. Of course, I use Caliper, I use many other tools. I use EQI to assess. And they have a good tool for salespeople. Have a look at some of those. That they may not necessarily demonstrate potential to be a sales leader. So be careful. For high performance, it does not necessarily become or demonstrate potential. But 90% of successful leaders who have potential happen to demonstrate high performance. Now they are high performance in the first place. But high performance does not necessarily equate to high potential. Okay, that's very important, so be very clear. So if you want to know more what I'm talking about, there's an article on the website. I cannot bring, to be fair to Pak Kus and Indonesia, I have 150 articles on the website. I cannot print everything. All the references, you can go down and download. And by the way, for me, it's called copyright, it's called right to copy. Okay? Now, so coaching is a very important part of the development of future leaders, high potential. Of course, you have assessment. So as I mentioned, critical competency. Besides, as I said, you need to EQ or leadership competency. There are many tools out there, including Harrison. You can have a look. You can use Baron EQI. I use Baron. I use Benchmark 360 by CCL, Center for Creative Leadership. EDA, our LEA, we have our own tool. So, but the thing is about our organization, we look what is best for the company, looking at what it takes for the situation the company is facing. We use the best tool. Although we have our own tool, I do not believe, I'm a bit different at CE and EDA. We do not just push our own tool, but we look at what is best based on the context of the organization situation. Okay? So if you know more how to develop, understand how we do it, we work with a company and sponsor, which call, this is a coaching, we need to work with a senior executive, CEO or business leader, understand what they expect from the individual coaching, and then assess them and develop them over 6 to 12 months, and then we assess them at the end of 6 to 12 months, how far they've achieved. So the process is called, what they call transition coaching process, using a model called the transition coaching, and you can get the details in my book, a chapter called the Developing Future Leaders in Coaching in Asia, the first book ever published in 2010. A copy of my chapter is available online free of charge. But Amazon is out of print since April. So Amazon is out of print, so you can download free of charge for now. Okay? And I want to highlight 4 competencies that leaders need to demonstrate based on the research worldwide. One is about relationship management, or what I call today is called social intelligence, developing relationship with others, building rapport. Cross-cultural communication, very important. You need to demonstrate, especially those who are coming from Europe, America to Asia, most of them will fail because they do not have the ability to demonstrate that. And of course, ability to negotiate for resources, very important. As you move up the hierarchy of leadership, the higher you go up to the hierarchy, you need to be able to negotiate with your peers, your bosses, stakeholders. This is tough. When you need to work with your former peers who are not your direct report, you have a big problem. Many leaders do not know how to let go. That's my advice to you, all of you who are future leaders, who you're going to be assuming leadership, and also advise your leaders, never be too close. Listen very carefully, I'm going to give you an advice. In my executive coaching for 15 years, I've seen too many leaders they fail because they become too close to the employee. Listen, I'm not saying don't be close, I said too close. Because when you need to take action, tough action, you become emotionally distant. You need to build rapport, you need to build a relationship, understand the issue. You need to empathize, not sympathize. What's the difference between empathy and sympathy? Anybody? So anybody can help me to define empathy and sympathy? Yeah. What's the difference?
First of all, it's empathy to understand. On sympathy, if someone tells a sad story, we not only just understand them, but we also cry about the listen after the story. That is sympathy, not empathy.
Very good. Thank you very much. Very good. Let me tell you a story. The year is 2008, global financial crisis. In Singapore, it's one of the largest European banks. I was calling at 2 a.m. in the morning. The CEO, who's my coachee, called me and said, Prof, I have a big problem. I just had off a conference call. The chairman of the board has decided, we are going to cut down 15% of our global workforce. And it happens that about 8% are from Asia. So I've been asked to look at the leadership team. At least 5 of my direct report will be impacted across Asia Pacific. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. And because he's a nice guy, he's a very nice guy, and he's very strong affiliative staff. He becomes so close with his staff, and he feels very emotionally disturbed. How am I going to tell someone who my son, his son grew up together, but Friday night is in Singapore, Singapore Friday night, Terry, what happened Friday night? Clarke Quay, Boat Quay will be full of all these people drinking. So he said, Prof, I don't know what to do. How am I going to tell these two guys who are my SVP that don't have a job? So of course, I sit down and listen as a coach. I question and challenge him, and create a level of self-awareness. And I found out that the problem that you have in this situation is that his level of affiliation is so high that he not only empathize, but he sympathized. Because we took as sympathy and empathy. As a leader, you need to have empathy, but you don't need to have sympathy. And in this case, in many people, you need to have, in 0 to 10, you need to have 5 level of empathy. But you also need to have something else to back up, to prevent empathy from being, hello young lady, so I speak in English, I say Bahasa, hey, please tell me more about you. Like not happy, was still talking to the boyfriend, what's that? Your boyfriend. I said, wow, that's interesting. I said, oh, never mind lah, who cares? Business, no business. Talk to me, he said, I don't understand Bahasa, I can understand, I cannot speak. He's talking to my friend. Why the waste of time all these people visiting the booth? The attitude. Tidak apa, when you are talking about passive. So 10 is aggressive, 0 is passive. You need to be assertive. Assertive is speaking your point of view without hurting the other person's feeling. So you need to be assertive, you need to have empathy. Okay? There's a balance. Okay? So what happens if 0 to 10, 5 is empathy, 10 is sympathy, what is 0? People who have no empathy at all, what is it called? Hello? Sorry? Psycho man? Psycho? Oh, psycho. No, people got no empathy.
Tidak apa lagi.
Tidak apa-apa itu.
Tidak apa lagi juga.
Empathy. People. So as a leader, you need to have 5. 5 empathy, 5 assertiveness. So that's a balance. So this example of the global CEO who need to fire. When I say firing, by the way, nothing wrong with firing, terminate the contract. It's because of redundancy, not because of performance. This is because of the organization restructuring. And he has difficulty. And for 2 weeks, he was depressed. He has to see a doctor. After going through with me, my role is an executive coach about competency development, not about listening about his personal life. You tell me all the barbecue, what he has done. I said, no, that's not part of my role is to talk about competency. Okay? So developing future leaders, let me sum up what I just shared with you, some of the challenges. Okay, let me just sum up. This is new. This is the new slide this morning. I just uploaded it, not there. This is from research from all the 4 research, from Harvard Business School, Duke, from the KPMG, from Deloitte. All the 4 research I talk about, I put into one slide. So listen very carefully. Number 1, think strategically and globally. So the future leaders that we need today to prepare for the future, because we are so interconnected, we need to have leaders who are able to think that strategically. Number 2, cross-cultural diversity. We need to engage. It's still important because we are dealing with what we call the world is changing. Not only diversity in terms of culture, but diversity in terms of sexual orientation. Listen very carefully. Now, I'm telling you this is a fact. Banks today, UBS, Citibank, their policy, which talk about LBGT. You know what's LBGT? L, lesbian, B, bisexual, G, gay, T is transsexual. Now, this is a fact. You can Google it. Many companies, including Citibank, UBS, HP, TNT, IBM, has a policy. Because one of the things that the US is called EEO, Equal Opportunity Employer, whatever. And they have to be open. And question, are we ready for that? We are a Muslim country in Indonesia. So is Malaysia. But you have to be prepared. Put aside your personal, religious, but this is about working in an organization. This is about global direction. Are you ready? Be technology savvy. Than what you are. I think this is Indonesia and Philippines, two countries. I can tell you, you have the highest rate of using SMS technology. I think Indonesia is fantastic. Every got 4 phones. One personal, one work, one for the mistress, one for the boyfriend, one for the... Okay, then you develop alliance and partnership. Start thinking of how do you connect with other people. How do you deal with people outside your new stakeholders. As much as I like Anita, I love you very much. But sorry, you know, this job doesn't, I don't think you have the competency any longer, because the role has changed. The competency required to bring the organization to the next level, you do not have it. Now, of course, you can develop the person, you can provide support, but you find that sometimes some people do not have the competency, cannot have the right attitude. Now, listen, not attitude, aptitude, the capacity to be able to demonstrate those competencies. So you need to get them off the bus and get the right person in the right seat. Sometimes we have people being put in the wrong role. So what we need to do as leader, how can we help them putting them in the right role? There are some good people in the organization, but just unfortunate, they have been in that particular role for a long time. They no longer they become ineffective. So how can you help them to transform them into different roles? And learning agility. Later, my good friend Pak Anwar is going to talk about the behavior of some of the leaders, the closing plenary session. You can listen very carefully to some of the competency of the future leaders. One of them is learning agility. Learning agility is the ability to learn, unlearn, relearn. The second one is the most difficult. A lot of leaders, when I do coaching, executive coaching, I tell them, forget about it. Cannot, cannot. I got problem. I still remember what my professor teach me 101 30 years ago, 20 years ago. The problem is, you need to unlearn and let go things of the past. It doesn't make any sense. But learn and develop new skills, new knowledge, and adopt what we call reverse mentoring. And I'll talk about that in a short while, mentoring. Remember, if I don't talk about it, somebody asks me a question called reverse mentoring. It's very important. And then sharing of leadership. Today, leadership is to no more dictatorial, no more directives. It's about ask, listen, and learn from your subordinates. It's not about leadership. Leadership is about shared leadership. You'll be surprised the Gen Y knows better than you. They know more than you than what you can imagine. They're very resourceful. And lastly, learn how to manage a boss. Now let me tell you, I will tell you something very, I've been doing this for a long time in coaching. I can tell you, one of the greatest derailer, I use the word derailer of leader who fail, do not know how to manage a boss. Now whether you like your boss, you may not, kamu suka bos kamu, bos dari sini. Nggak ada ya? Okay, Sarah, kamu suka bos kamu? Little bit, sikit ya. Mengapa? Sayang bos. Kenapa nanti kalau bos sudah berambus, sudah keluar, siapa yang dipromosikan? Kamu kan? Yeah. Very important. Whether you like your boss or not, because somebody up there already decided the boss is good enough for the role. Don't go against your boss. Work, but you can be authentic. You can tell your boss what you feel, how you feel, things are not right. But accept your boss, don't play politics, don't backstab. My advice to you, number one, never backstab your boss. Because if you do that in front of your employee, what do you think happens when you go out of the room? Executive coach. So I go into the organization as an external coach going, but all of you here in this room can be a coach to your staff, to your direct report, to your boss, to your peer. That's called managerial coaches or corporate coaching. Coaching and mentoring. Now let me explain Because a lot of people, I going around yesterday, few of you, somebody asked me, Prof, I'm looking at your session, hey, there's a mentoring, I mean, we are doing that, coaching and mentoring, we'll be doing that. Can you help me to explain? Some coaching, mentoring, we just provide guidance. So I said, go and read in my book here, there's an article behind this book called Mentoring and Leadership Development. Read this. And mentoring refers to long-term relationship about developing, career development of the individual. Okay? It's a long-term. And it will be somebody maybe you respect, you have good, who have demonstrated success in your role previously. But it does not have to be your boss. It doesn't have to be somebody that works in the same department. It's somebody outside the department. Or it could be somebody who have left the organization. Okay, that's mentoring. Whereas coaching is very short-term, it's very skill-specific. Okay? Coaching comes from the word coach. What is the word coach? Coach to bring someone from one place to another. Okay, the word coaching is basically helping someone to move from one state to another by focusing on the competency and skills. It's very skill-focused. Whereas mentoring is more broader, you look at career development, professional development, and it has ownership of learning in coaching. It lies with the coaching the individual. And you need to facilitate, you guide them as a coach. But the coaching take your responsibility. Okay? The executive coaching, again, the details, it can be found on the website, or there's an article, I think there's an article behind called Transforming, I hope is that the details can be found behind Transforming the New Generation of Leaders, where you talk about coaching linked to the business goal. Always coaching linked to the business goal. You cannot do a coaching without linking to the business goal of the organization. Okay? So transition coaching is about preparing people to move up the hierarchy. So it's a sub form of executive coaching to help people to move up from one level to another. Okay? Now, I won't go into this. This is a framework, it's in the article, you read up. But most important is coaching to follow through a process from assessment. This is where you use a lot of psychometric assessment tools, and you provide a debrief of the result of the assessment. You give an action plan, and then you execute the action plan. You measure at the end of 6 to 12 months to see how success of the coaching. The details again is found in the article. You can read through, but the process is similar to many organizations. Can be similar. So our process is called ADAM, easy to remember. Best practice case study before we adjourn for Q&A now. 2 case studies of coaching that have helped develop global leaders, future leaders. Number 1, this is a global MNC headquarters in Singapore. The coachee is the international assignee. He's been sent from America into Singapore, responsible for Asia Pacific, to head up marketing. The problem that he has is that he doesn't have the international experience. So he was in the US for a long time, coming to Asia. He doesn't have, his style of leadership, very direct. The typical American style, very direct, and he created very, unfortunately, the first 3 months in the job, a lot of people, 2 of his staff left. I can't take it. He left, and I was calling to help to coach him. And I went in and helped him to develop what we call over 6 months, we call a leadership style. Shifting from a directive to more coaching, engaging, affiliative, to help him to create a climate of trust and people feel more engaged. And to do this, you need to be able to invest time, of course. He's very fortunate, the CEO, Apex CEO is very supportive. And you also was called what we call mentoring.
Later on.
Oh, later on, okay, yeah. Wow, very nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, big round of applause for Professor Samuel.
Very nice.
Thank you. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank to Mr. Moderator.